G'day everyone, and welcome to the Insight NBA show. I am Matty G, and this is Malley. How you doing, big dog?
Brilliant, mate. It's a good time to be alive. Winter is behind us. Summer's apparently here. Let's roll.
It's a good time to be alive. Look, after this one, you are going to do it. You're going to draft Jokic. This is the Jokic build. Let's get into it.
Basketball. It's time to strap in and get ready. The Insight NBA team is in the arena, bringing you the ultimate play-by-play on who's hot and who's not to help you win your leagues and dominate your mates. You're now hooping with your hosts, Matty G, Skitty, and Malley for the Insight NBA show.
Well, Malley, think bloody quick, mate. And we've got 13 seconds till this bad boy cuts on off, and it's the Jokic build. So what are your thoughts straight away there?
Well, I hope that I get Jokic. I'm a little bit worried about Durak selecting before me. A lot weighs on him making the sensible choice and going Victor Wembanyama. Oh, and he's gone and done it for us. Good boy. So, yes.
Oh, thank you, Durak.
Nikola Jokic. I think, ironically, in the last, 5 years that he's been a key player, I don't think I've actually owned him in any leagues.
That's unlucky.
I'm happy to take him here and see what happens. But he's such a pivot dude, like there's so much that he does well without any major deficiencies. I love it. Like the world is my oyster at pick 2.
Yeah, 100%. Look, you've done this a few times. You've picked up towards the end of drafts in some of our shows already. Tell us what's your immediate thoughts on me drafting from 12. I haven't drafted from the tail end yet. I've got some tricks up my sleeve for turns, but it's not something that I do all the time, basically. So as it comes and as it's coming around the turn right now, take us through the last few picks, Malley.
So after I took Nikola at second, we had at third pick Doncic, and Shea goes at 4, so pretty standard affair there. Davis goes at 5th, Hallie at 6, Antetokounmpo at 7, Embiid at 8, Curry at 9, and then Trae Young at 10th. So this is playing out pretty bog standard, leaving you with some forwards and some guards to basically choose from.
Well, this makes it a little bit easier for me. Coming in now around this pick, it's kind of Jason Tatum, I guess. Otherwise, I really am reaching. I think he is the bottom of the barrel, and that thing sounds like just a cruel ass thing to say. It's a bit bottom of the barrel for Tatum around 12. It's really hard unless you're getting Trae Young there, but he's moving up. Steph has moved up. Probably going to lean into Kyrie just to help get those field goal percentages and the free throw percentage up. And I can build a little bit more well-rounded off that. But 12 and 13, it can be dog days around here.
Yeah. It's really hard to make a decision about who's going to land in that spot. I think it gets very murky after about probably the 10th pick, actually. I'm looking at these guys. I don't think I take Curry inside the top 10. I know that the value's great for him this year. He's always had the keys to the castle, but they've given him keys to every part of the castle. He's unlocking doors left, right, and center. I love the Trae pick at 10. That's exactly where I took him in the last mock. KD, just feels a little bit weathered to take at 11th. I feel like Tatum's a pretty strong pick. I'm a little bit worried about post-Olympics body and how much they're going to rest him and the rest of the boys this season to try and go back-to-back. Is that something you're nervous about, or...
Yeah, it is.
I'm really worried about
a little bit nervous, but then I start to see shenanigans going on like this, and I'm like, I could have probably taken Sabonis actually to give myself a better feel off that one. But seeing LeBron James, Jesus, seeing him at 16th, that's like ceiling LeBron. Like he was first roundish last year, but look, we saw a lot out of him. He played a lot of games. That's the biggest surprise. Sabonis at 17th feels like good value to me. Damian Lillard, bounce back season, great. Booker, 19. This seems
Booker there.
Like Booker there a lot. Brunson, Scotty Barnes. Look, Scotty Barnes isn't lasting outside 25. James Harden, he's gone at 22. You might have had your eyes on him, I think.
I did. He was sitting in my queue, and now he's gone. So I'm going to roll to my backup plan, and I think 23 is earlier than I see him go. But I've got high hopes for this guy this year, and I'm going to take LaMelo. I think, obviously, my assists are very strong. My blocks and my steals aren't terribly impressive at this stage, but I got points sorted. Threes are not shabby. My free throw percentage hopefully will kind of balance out a little bit there because it's not one of Jokic's major strengths. I'm pretty happy with that there. And then I see going at 24. I know Matty picked him in our mock the other day. He's too dangerous for me. I like to live dangerously, but not that dangerous. I just feel like he's going to get shut down too early, and he's going to ruin somebody's off-season.
In the punting Wemby, make sure you check that out. It's on our YouTube page. I did the punting Wemby build from pick 1, and I took Jokic. I picked up LaMelo Ball, where Durek picked up Lauri Markkanen. So I love that combination. I got frisky and risky with it, and I actually doubled down and took Kawhi. That's about living on as knife edge as fantasy you can have. LaMelo Ball and Kawhi on the same team. But Chet Holmgren, at 26, I think that's a good pick.
I'm kind of up in the air with him, and I love a punt build, and I kind of feel like when you take Jokic at 1, obviously you can still pivot and make a punt build in whatever direction you want to go. But I feel like Holmgren sorts my blocks out a little bit. I kind of find in this second position here where I'm not particularly strong with when I'm going into my third pick, and I'm not particularly strong at steals or blocks, I feel like I want to start shoring one of those two up. So I've made the choice here. I'm going with blocks. I'm letting the steals slide a little bit. And now I'm comfortable with my points. I'm comfortable with my percentages not being too bad. My 3-pointers are looking pretty grim. Steals are looking fairly grim. You never know what LaMelo's going to do there, but I don't think he's going to do enough. And, rebounds, assists, all looking good.
Paolo Banchero, very high up there before that Kawhi Leonard. If he was still on the board at coming back to me, at 27, he goes, if he's there, I'm taking him at the end of this round. Starting to move on through Paul George. I like that for Paul George. You've drafted from the end here. Who are your leanings that I should be looking for around this one? Because Fred VanVleet's gone. De'Aaron Fox is gone. It's coming back to me very fast.
How much boys you got so far?
I've got Kyrie and Tatum. So I probably need to get a big. I'm looking at a big. Also, don't mind. Look, okay. Go on.
Would you take a little Jaren Jackson Jr. dabble at this position?
This is where I am thinking about. This is one of them I'm dealing with. I'm also dealing with maybe a Mobley.
Yeah.
Power forward, centerable, eligible guys.
Yep. Because he missed sections of the season last year, I feel like he's flying under the radar, more so in the fact that he's just not in the forefront of people's minds. But he is such an impressive player, and I feel a big season coming on for him. I feel like he's going to try and make up for the lost ground of the 23-24 season.
I tell you now, people just got absolutely frothing for their point guards just there. We've just seen it go off the board in consecutive order. Fred VanVleet, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Maxey, Ja Morant, and Bam. So this is it. Now, I've got 3 guys in my queue, as you can see. I've got Jaren Jackson Jr., I've got Evan Mobley, but I've also got Jalen Williams here. All guys who fit what I'm doing. I'm going to take Jaren Jackson Jr. I like that. Yep. I am flirting with someone who can get me some more points, and I do think I'm going to get just the steals out of Jalen Williams and the flexibility between guard and forward spots. I'm going to go ahead and draft Jalen, but Mobley was someone there that I love with that dual eligibility on the clock.
And I also think Mobley with Jaren Jackson might be a bit of a hat on a hat type situation, like a little bit of overkill. I'm glad you pivoted that way. I like the Jalen Williams. I love his upside. And I think if he can I don't think he's going to go back to rookie level steals, but if you can get half of that, you've done pretty well with your blocks and steals in your back-to-back pick there.
Yeah, look, it consolidates a little bit. Jaren Jackson Jr., I think. I'm going to have to start getting some points up on the board. I mean, Kyrie's going to get me about 20 a game. Jason Tatum is a good scorer. He's going to be one of the top 5 across the league, so that's always an option to have a look around at. But then after that, it gets a little bit like the scorers start to go off the board really soon, really quickly. So I'm probably needing rebounds and assists, and I know those high assist guys are going out the window very soon. There you go. Jaylen Brown and Evan Mobley. Yep.
Do you want to recap from about pick 30, I think was where we were up to before, from Paul George?
I would love to recap from about pick 30. So, yeah, we hit that guard level off after Phillips gone off. And there you go. Fred VanVleet, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Maxey, Ja Morant, Bam Adebayo, and I was at Jaren Jackson Jr. to finish off the 3rd round. Moving into the 4th round straight away, I've got Jalen Williams was my other pick that I paired with Triple J, not the wrestler, Triple J, of course. Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley, Franz Wagner, not to be confused with Frankfurt Sausage, and DeJounte Murray after that one. This is the latest. 41 is the absolute latest that I have seen DeJounte go. You can see even here now, top guys on the board, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Johnson, he's gone off. Desi Bain, Miles Turner, Derek White, Jarrett Allen, Jamal Murray, DeMar DeRozan. Mate, you've got some spicy picks coming your way.
I'm just looking. There's not a chance in the world that I would choose Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray before Cade. Like, am I like too high on Cade? It just seems like
no, you're not. There's been a few. I'm not going to say this is a bad draft for some blokes, but the picks are interesting. Like early round for like there's nothing like. Then again, LeBron James outside the 2nd round feels like it's value. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So someone's getting at 16, they're like, well, I'm not going to get him when he comes back. And that's a good argument. Like, what are you getting? Almost a triple-double a game? Fair. Desi Bain just goes off the board before you. Cade Cunningham, who you mentioned. Oh, I see you bastard. That's early for quickly, but I like it. Talk us through quick this pick.
I could have waited those couple more picks and obviously taken him at 50, but I don't know. He just looks amazing. I saw a photo of him today. The dude looks hot. He's doing workouts somewhere. Yeah, he's really popped up.
Did he get a personal chef? Did he get a personal chef?
Oh, he's got personal something. I think he's going to be on the drug test list. I think he's got himself a little ticket there. See, the problem I'm faced with now is at my next pick. I've got all these centers still. I've got Jarrett Allen. I've got Jalen Duren. I got pretend center Zion Williamson. It's a bit of a Snoresville pick, mate, but I'm going to pick this bloke. I picked him last time for the exact same reason. I needed a small forward, power forward pickup. I feel like getting him at 50 is fairly good value. I wouldn't want to take him too much. There's too many
agreed.
Too much, unknown about him at the moment with his transition over to Sacramento, but he does a good job of filling the needs that I have in this team now. I don't need any more assists. My team get to the line pretty well. I hope Daniel quickly can go back to New York levels of free throw percentage this year, and then I'm doing all right in that area.
I am struggling hard because I thought Darius Garland might pop back to me to help buoy those assists for me. He's gone here at 51, which is almost a return to the season before our 22-23 Garland. That hurts me a little bit. Gobert, Siakam at 53. So to round out that 50th pick was DeMar DeRozan. I like that. Derek White before that one. And we had Miles Turner to finish off the round after your quickly pick. Jarrett Allen, Nick Claxton goes. Jesus, it's the guys that I wanted that are going. This is why I haven't bothered to set a queue. This is the round they go. They go in round 5, 6.
So there's nothing here for you now for your assists category. What are you going to try and gather that later? Are you going to go real early on a Josh Giddey? Or are you just going to kind of put that back and go, I'll worry about that later? Or you're just giving up on it?
Yeah, no, look, I'm not going to give up on it. I'm probably going to have to punt it, but I'm going to need now to fight for rebounds. I've got Jalen Duren, who's just sitting there, like you can see.
Jinx yourself. There he goes.
I did. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah.
Look, the other ones who's tasty, and he's more down that I might have a look at. I've got DeAndre Ayton here, who's also a good points guy for me. So I kind of I like
underdog.
another like a guy there. Another point small forward guy. I could look at DeAndre. Probably Tobias Harris here. There is a pick I'm gonna try and make late. I also like Mark Williams though. No, yeah. I'm gonna take Ayton. Oh no, you know what? I haven't taken Mark Williams a lot, so I'm gonna take Mark. Oh no, I'm gonna take Ayton because I think it's the most sensible choice that I can get. It is a 2-center league, so I could just you know what? Just gonna roll the dice on it right now, and I'm just gonna lock in because it's a 2-center league. If it's a 1-center league, I'm taking one of these two guys when they fall to me around 60s. I think Mark Williams is a 50 if he plays 50 game like top 50 player. Doesn't really hurt me by way, yeah.
The reverberations of you taking 2 centers back to back here are going to be noticeable. Watch people panic now. Yep. Yusuf's going to go too early. Lopez is going to go too early. Someone took Clint Capella at 70 the other day, and I nearly threw up my lunch. But yeah, I reckon that you're going to start a little avalanche here of people, especially in this 2-center league. There's going to be panics.
And that's exactly what I was hoping to inspire, just fear and panic in the masses, because you start to see them go off the board, and we had a little bit of a flirt with that. And then, again, this is what started over here, though. I wouldn't say it was me, but it's now everyone else is going to look. So Tobias Harris next after Brendan Ingram is fair, but it happened in that 5th round, Malley. Like, let's have a look before then. Miles Turner goes off the board. People are going to look there. Evan Mobley, the power forward center kind of spot, doesn't really strike you as a center. But the second that Gobert went after you, look at the guys who were going next. Claxton, Allen, Vooch, Duran, Zion Williamson, who is power forward center eligible, Miles, DeAndre Ayton, Mark Williams, Tobias Harris, Mikal Bridges, Zach LaVine. So some really good players in this 5 and 6 zone. It can really make your draft, mate.
And I think that's one of my favorite things about obviously you're getting a very strong player in Wemby or Jokic, but the biggest joy in it is that you don't have to worry about a center for a while. You know, like maybe you want to double it up and really look after your blocks or your rebounds, but I don't know, it's just a relief going, great, I've got that sorted. Like, I feel like it's a bit of a dog's breakfast with the centers in too many parts of these drafts. So, yeah, he's a happy man, me taking him at the second pick and not having to stress too much, even though I went back and picked up Holmgren, who they threw straight into my power forward position. All right, back to me again. That was fast.
And look, Lopez goes before then Giddey, Vassell, Miller. I know you would have been looking at Vassell. And Julius Randle.
Yep, 68th. I thought he was going to come back to the 70s. Look, I don't know what to do here.
Can I recommend someone for you? To fill in that other center spot? Isaiah Hartenstein, right around now, is really good value.
I'm going to wait for him for 74. I'm going to go, no, I'm out of time. Can I grab it? Yes, got him. No,
you got Nurk. Oh, you got Nurk.
I got Nurk. No, I wanted Bradley Beal, but I fluffed around for too long. But that's okay. I'll take Nurk there.
Okay.
Mike,
you don't need Hartenstein now.
I'm going. Well, that's right, but and I don't really. Ironically, that doesn't make me want to take Beal at my 74th pick.
Okay.
Threes are non-existent, and it's too late for me to try there. I think I'm going to try and void my points a little bit. And yeah, ironically, I said I won't take him, but I think I will now. I am going to take a hopefully better-bodied, more abled Bradley Beal. Oh no, someone's already taken him. Oh, now I'm in real panics.
It's all covered undone. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going to take
Tyler Hero.
I don't like the pick there, but I want the points. I want to see him have a season where he can play more than 50 games would be nice. So he makes me a little bit nervous. I think because he's a fancy boy. Maybe if he plays well in those first few weeks, especially if Jimmy's out for whatever reason that Jimmy likes to go out for games and Hero can shine, I might be able to get into people's minds and sell him off. That's my hope. He'll be the first guy, if he plays a decent game, I'm getting rid of.
You will whore out anyone for a trade, Malley. And God knows I love you, but jeez. You just messaged me at night random trades. I'm like, I don't even own any of those places. And you're like, no, it's in another league. I'm like, oh, really? You're like,
I
yeah,
love that people just go, I'm sick of waking up to messages to trade requests from you. Like, yeah, it's the worst way to wake up. But anyway.
Now, look, this is the big thing that's going on in this round. 77th is the earliest that I have seen KP go. There's before then Valanciunas, Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, Bogdan Bogdanovic. This is getting interesting. Michael Porter Jr., Keegan Murray on the clock. Hartenstein is still here. I don't need three centers, but I haven't seen him. This is probably the most mid-level where I have seen him go. So I'm curious as an exercise now. CJ McCollum. Oh, I do need points. And I also do need
CJ the other day, and I took CJ and Skiddy nearly murdered me, so I'm too nervous to press the button now. I've got PTSD.
I've got you might get PTSD, but I've got bloody Jabari Smith Jr. at 84.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I think I'm okay with that. I think it's okay. I do need to get some. I probably need some points, and I'm going to reach. I'm going to. No. Well, I'm making an example here. I'm going Cam Thomas because I'm looking really good around the board, and it seems the right time. I'm not going to get him in 20 picks time. It's going to be 110s. You'd even be flirting with taking him around there. So for me now, it's just I need points. He's been going earlier and earlier, as we can see here. Cam Thomas's rank is 100. His ADP has shot up to 82. So getting him at 85 is about rank on value. His X rank on Yahoo is 72. But I was just having this chat with Kingy the other night. The value of him being a late flyer or someone who you can look to, it's that market's just that ship's sailed.
Yeah. Yes, it has. Now I'm in a position where
Reeves,
I need
Hackers, Anunoby, Gafford, Naismith. Oh, we're coming.
Where are you going, mate?
It's back. It's back. I'm here. I haven't. Jeez, I quit the draft.
100 yet.
I left the chat.
You don't have to be that upset about things. I thought you're doing all right.
Thank you.
You have a little moment.
I did. I had a bit of a conniption.
Well, in your absence, Kuzma went at 89th and OG went at 90. There's some polar opposite dudes right there.
And look, there you go. Hartenstein, 2 picks after me. There you go.
This is and here goes, hopefully there's a little run of centers here. I mean, I saw, what did Capella go at? Something. Why would you take Capella at, what did he go? 78.
Here you go. 78 by Phillip.
While Pirtle is at 91. No, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm taking Pirtle every day of the week there.
Yeah. I've got 3 picks before me, and I'm going to try and save one last-ditch effort before we're into the hundreds, over the 100 mark, of sorting my points out. And there's only one man for the job if Melo doesn't take him. Pirtle at 91, Reeves at 92, Kuminga at 93. I don't mind the Kuminga pick. I think anywhere 10 sides of 100, 10 slots either side of 100 is pretty good. Come on, Melo. Why don't you take John Collins? Nobody wants him. Do us a favour.
Oh, come on.
Take a broken Chris Middleton. Oh, you
Anthony
asshole.
Simons?
He did exactly what I... All right, I didn't have a backup plan. Here's my backup plan. He's not quite Simons.
Oh, that was... You know what? I was silently hoping that he'd be able to sneak himself back around the board to me.
Yeah. I don't mind. 95th pool. It takes all of the danger out of the pick. 95th is like last season value. I think if I can get anything more out of him, that's pretty good. Now, what do? I don't really have. No point taking Suggs too early. Don't need the steals. I'm going to take this boy. I'm really leaning into my big boys. But I like Zubac there. So I think was it Skiddy or Matty took him the other day, and I was like, I love that.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick. And then goes my guy, Trey Murphy. Just the second I put my cursor on someone, it goes away. Look, I had my eyes on Trey Murphy late. He's been slipping. Points and threes. That's what I was looking for in my next pick. That's gone. Yeah, I like that. Jeremy Grant before then, but Zubac, like after 100, that's just a dependable sender. You can fill that spot there quite easily.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see what he does this year. I think he and Harden will fly a bit. Like, I really think those guys, you hear about all like the little bonus sneaky training sessions that those two do together. And I feel like Harden will just work his magic with Zubac this year and do some good things. The rebounds always look good. He's a sneaky, or he's an all right blocks guy too. Like, I never think about him as a blocks guy, but they got him here projected at 90 blocks for the season, and that's not to be laughed at.
It's not, and I'm getting
you're a pick away.
I am, and I've got Colin Sexton there on my queue. I'm looking for maybe another guy like I'm thinking the backcourt utility. I've got a lot of forwards, shooting guards, and I've got 4 or 5 picks left. So I think it might be early for Sexton. But Keontae George is starting to creep into this market now where I'm going to have to just pull a guy from somewhere to get me threes, to get me points, to get me assists. So I might just have to get some of my deficiency spots sorted out real quickly and just have my handcuff my guards in Utah and see where I go. It's not exactly the sexiest picking that I could do, but points and assists are all going off the menu really, really, really quickly.
My oath they are. So that what do we have here? We've got from pick 100, we had Barrett maybe a little early, but he did play well at the end of last season. So it'll be interesting how they fit him into the system. Now they'll have Barnes back. John Collins at 101. No, thank you. Chris Middleton at 102. Why not? Our friend Ibrahim took Draymond Green at 103. I hope he's punting points. We have Chris Paul at 104, Suggs at 105, Kessler at 106. Then at 107, we had Tyus Jones. At 108, we had Keontae George. Sexton, Keontae George's copy and paste at 109. Bobby Portis at 110. I don't get that at all. Lively at 111. Gorgeous. 112 is a Kongwu. Gorgeous. Robinson at 113. Meh. Clay at 114. And then Caruso at 115.
Yeah, I like the Caruso pick here. This is where specialists start. Yeah, there we go. So this is the round. Round 10 is your specialist round. This is where I was getting the last of the points that I didn't get early enough, especially if you're taking the big man. So it's almost like you got to hit points really hard and then come back around to it. Guys like Trace Jackson-Davis, love that he's been drafted. Don't love it at 117. This is someone who's getting that upside or filling a power forward or a center spot really quickly. He does both of those. So that's probably where that's gone. I think that's a bit interesting. Cam Johnson, good picking by you there for Cam. Think of a bit of a bounce back here. Probably fair value at about 120. Pods straight after that at 100 and at 120 after your 119. Malik Monk. Again, this is the scorers, the last of the scorers. Malik Monk, hot and cold any night of the week. He might be on this bloke's waiver wire within the first 3 weeks of the season and on to his next owner. He's going around.
I feel like I'm probably starting to take some risks, but I really need the small forwards. I've left it a little bit late to get great forwards, but I'm going to go with Shaedon Sharpe. I don't know whether he gets the start nod. It's kind of a little bit confusing. As soon as they got Denny Advier, I was like, well, I don't really know what's going to happen here now. But I'm going to take Shaedon. He can score. His percentages are absolutely trash, and I'm worried about both of my percentages because I think basically I'm just equaling them out. You know, I've got some quite strong field goal guys and some very weak ones, so I'm going to be so mid. Same with free throw percentages. I'm going to be quite mid in that area too. So I am nervous about that. Speaking of Advia, there he goes at 124. I must have reminded someone that they were on the same team. Healed at 125. What are you going to do at 132, mate, if you get the chance to make a good choice?
A chance for a good choice? Ahmed Thompson, Buddy Hield. I'm looking actually at someone else in Golden State. I'm probably looking for DeAnthony Melton around now, and you know how I am ready to be hurt. Yep. I'm looking for maybe him or Gary Trent Jr. Again, just to help consolidate those points. I've managed to climb them back a little bit, but I'm probably looking for some assists as well, assists and steals. So there is one guy who I have my eye on who can get me those and rebounds. He is Conley's gone. Dante DiVincenzo. Where did Chris Paul go off the radar? Can't remember when CP
he went
went.
ages ago. Too early. I think 104.
Yeah, probably a bit too
104
early.
He was. Yep. Yeah, little.
Malcolm Brogdon is maybe a choice for me as well, but the last of the guys to get the steals, it's probably here it is. Look, do I get him?
Yeah,
I probably do. I'm going to go Ben Simmons.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Well, he does those things, doesn't he?
He gets steals. I needed those. He gets assists. I get that one. I hate that he's only point guard eligible now, but I'm just going to get my boy D'Anthony Melton in here because he's going to give me some of those as well. And I'm probably just going to settle for a nice upside pick on my last one. Just filling those specialist positions. I've got a lot of point guard flexibility now. I've got 4. So I need to probably shore up. I've got some nice late round flyers in my forward spots, but I'd be looking to find and package one of these guys out with someone else to upgrade, basically, come trade season. But I kind of like that I've managed to get 6 assists a game in one of my last picks. That's pretty good.
And I think too, I don't know if you'll end up keeping both Simmons and Melton, but I mean, you can make a choice in a couple of weeks' time into your season and decide who's going to make the cut. I thought you were going to pick up this man who I'm just about to hopefully land for myself.
Well, if it's PJ Washington, it's not, because I'm pretty pissed off that this bloke John at 130, because PJ Washington's been there in my last round almost consistently or undrafted, and the fact that he's gone off the board there, I'm like, thank you, John, for listening and liking and subscribing. And if you don't like and subscribe, make sure you also should do that. And you also need to buy our big draft board as well, because it's got your picks, it's got my picks, it's got Skitty's picks, it's got Matrix's picks, and our consensus draw board as well. It's definitely a look. Grayson Allen, Jordan Clarkson, Keldon Johnson, Asar Thompson. Who's this bloke you were talking to me about?
Thank God it doesn't have Zan's picks. He picked Keldon Johnson at 140. I'm not buying that guy's big draft board. No.
Zan's not included.
I want Dyson Daniels. If you get a silly Australian, I want a silly Australian.
I love the upside of that one. He's on my specialist list after round 10. So you can look around him about 11 or 12, especially if he gets the starting job, which I think he should get in Atlanta to offset the deficiencies they have as a team. Yeah, I think it's solid picking by you there at 143. Coming back to our final pick, so swinging for upside. I've got my eyes on someone. I'm not going to say their name out loud because the last few times I've done that tonight, it's cooked me 6 ways to Sunday. But this is the Jokic build. This isn't even, I'm just here to draft and have some fun about my picks from the end of the turn. This was a focus on your Jokic build. So as you've worked through this, what are you liking the most?
I'll go back through and look at my team in a minute. I do not like my Nurkic pick, but to finish up my somewhat disappointing draft, I'm going to go with Vince Williams Jr. I never keep my last pick. Well, you know my teams. They'll be lucky if one of the guys on this list makes it through to the finals with me. But
it'll just be Jokic. All the rest of your team will be gone. All the rest of your team is gone. Exactly. You know you've sold them. You're worse than Danny Ainge. Yeah. You'll trade anyone for your grandma.
Yeah. I'm not. They don't even unpack their bags, mate. They're just sit in their car waiting to drive onto the next stadium. But yeah, I'm going to get Vince Williams Jr. I don't know what the role's going to look like on a healthy team, but he looked real sweet last year. He does a little bit of everything. I'm hoping they find a role for him. If they don't, I don't care. I mean, I do care for him and his family, but I don't care for my fantasy team. He can get toppled off. Who's left for you? Al
Horford, Jaden Ivey were 2 guys. I needed a forward. So there's one guy that I got my mind on. I'm actually going to complete a bit of a stack. I've got 2 guys on the team already. Do you know who I'm leaning to by any chance?
I need to see your team to understand who it is that you could potentially stack. No, you're going to surprise me, and you're going to surprise me real fast because it's your pick right now.
Taylor Hendricks. There's my upside pick. I think he's top 120 on the season. He's going to come in, picking him up in the last round. This is a name that underneath I was very surprised to see go. Scooty Henderson. If you want points and assists late and has an upshot there in Portland, let's get over to the team straight away. That's where I've finished off with mine. But this is you taking us through the Jokic, the Joker build. And according to Roto standings and on Basketball Monster standings, you've won the draft. Just FYI. Now, I know the standings over here on this is all fine. These are projections on base only from Yahoo based on their amalgam of that one. So take us through this Jokic build because this actually wins out the league. It has you and I finishing 1 and 2 on Basketball Monster at the end of the draft, which is pretty solid. You, I just beat you 6-3 in the categories, but you pretty much beat everyone else at 576 win percentage. So I would say, mate, you might be down on it. Even with that cock up of a Nurk, you won the draft. So how have you won the draft? Tell us.
I look at this team, and I mean, I think that's why I really struggle because I love a punt build. And when you take your Joker first, it doesn't really open anything obvious up. You know, if you take Trae Young, I love my Trae Young build that I went with against Skitty.
That was nice. That was nice.
The path was absolutely clear as daylight for me. So I'll roll through my team. I'll tell you who I don't like and who I don't mind, and then you can answer the same about my team. So I've got LaMelo Ball as my point guard. Emmanuel Quickly, a little bit early, but I don't care. I love the guy, and I'm excited to have him on my team. Tyler Hero, not thrilled about. DeMar DeRozan, got him at the right spot. He's going to do the job for me. Holmgren, I don't know how many leagues I'm going to take him in, but I was very happy to take him in this one because he made great sense. Cameron Johnson, well, I know how much he hurt you last year, and I don't know if you're willing to forgive and forget, but the opportunity is obviously there. My centerpiece in Jokic, Yusuf Nurkic, well, that was decided by the fantasy gods. Poole at whatever I got him at, late 90s, very happy. Zubac, love it. Shaden Sharp, I don't know, but I don't care. Daniels, same deal. I hope that he can get a starting role, and even if he doesn't, I think he's going to have a pretty good role there because he's one of the only defenders that they've got. And then Vince Williams Jr., just because I want to have his name heard. So, yeah, in review, I love my pick up of Poole, ironically. Might be my favorite of the draft, and I'm not mad at myself for Quickly just before 50. The one that I obviously didn't like was Yusuf Nurkic because I wouldn't have picked him, and I'm a little bit dubious about Shaden Sharp. What do you like and hate, mate? Give it to me straight.
I hated the Nurkic pick. I think it's gross, and I had to vomit in my mouth a little bit and just continue on hosting a podcast. To be honest, but I know that was a fuck up though. Yeah, I blame. I blame you not being able to bloody count on your what you think. Yeah, 30 seconds on your drive.
My RSI, mate. I'm over here like this.
Just trying to type like a little dinosaur, like a little fucking T-Rex. I can't type it. No, apart from that, man, I actually didn't hate anything. Like I know you wanted Beal. And then he's gone off the board the next one. So I know you would have instantly undone that if it was one of our mates' drafts and casually like, oh, sorry, we would have undone that one in a heartbeat. So I know your heart was in the right place, but it's gross to go there. But even with that, the lesson is you can make mistakes and recover. I think it was good value for that. I think you've countered that very well by getting Tyler Hero back. It does feel the need in the center league. The only handcuff for me is I know you wanted Zubac. But for me, in a 2-center league, and if you do play in a 2-center league, the big thing is this. 1, don't have your commissioner change it or whatever. But 2 is have power forward center eligible players. So here for me, I think your biggest limitation is you've got Zubac, you've got Nurk, and you've got Nikola, and they're all just purely center-based guys. So I like to have at least one of those extra options be a power forward center. That's the only critique that I've got, to be honest. Like that's it. Looking at my picks by the by, Jason Tatum to lead it off with. Look, the best of an awkward bunch. Otherwise, you're taking, like, who do I want? Donovan Mitchell? Is he going to be first round again? Maybe. You could do that one. Sabonis. Do I want to start building the similar Jokic build from the tail end, but not get as many points with the same level of efficiency from the free throw line or threes? Yeah, maybe I could do that. So I jumped in the Tatum pool because he's probably the Malley, do you say he's the best player on the board there at 12? I think so.
You'd be getting pretty close to that being the truth.
Yeah, it's not like a lie, and it's not the truth. It's like when your mum asks you, did you take the biscuits? And you're like, no, I made my little sister go and get the biscuits, but then I made her bring them to me. It's like you kind of did take the biscuits.
I'm an accomplice.
I'm an accomplice. In fact, I was the mastermind behind the whole bloody thing. Kyrie, I like that. Look, it's probably early, but I love Kyrie. Then I've gone into Jaren Jackson Jr. Love that. Love Jalen Williams here. Haven't seen him around past the 40 marker. So as well, happy to do that one. DeAndre Ayton here. Like that pick of him at 60 when I can think he can be, if he plays enough, a 50 best player. And him and Mark Williams, I like that for those guys. Jabari Smith Jr., comfortable. Cam Thomas, again, when you're at the tail end here, you know you're always reaching for these guys that are coming into the rounds. So I probably would undo one of these Sexton and Keontae. I probably could have gone with like a Kongwu here, maybe, or a Marcus Smart to offset some of the assists and steals, but comfortable with that. Simmons, okay, can get him in the last round or second last round. D'Anthony Melton, same deal. But here I was getting very specific dudes for very specific jobs. And I finished off with my upside Taylor Hendricks pick that I've been a big fan of, especially if he's still on the board. So that's how my team shakes out. I'm not Durak. I am Matty G. Yeah, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, I really liked your Jabari Smith Jr. pick, and I thought that was a nice little fit on your team. But I also like there that you balance it out really well with your Cam Thomas pick after that. I mean, there's some total opposite guys that I think you've got the best of both worlds. You've got one who's just going to be absolutely slinging everything that he can. Even I reckon if someone accidentally lets one of the basketballs loose from the side, you know, like how they have the backup ball, he'll pick that up and they'll ask, oh, can you pass that back? And he's not before I put it through the hoop. He'll be chucking everything.
He's going to get those little balls they throw out in the stadium, and he's just going to be grabbing those and throwing those at hoops or at kids.
Yeah. Like he's at one of the skills testers or something, just doing these ones. But I quite like your team. I think you made some good choices at the right times. One I was probably a little bit interested about, and I think he's just slowly creeping his way up the board, is Mark Williams. Like, do we know if that guy's even cleared yet? Like, what's he doing?
Look, it's either Mark Williams or it's some voodoo magic zombie raised from the dead Scarlet Witch bringing people back to life. Elseworlds Marvel zombie shit for him. As far as I know, he's heading into camp healthy, but it is a back injury. And we've seen this again with similar former Charlotte Hornets player, Dwight Howard. We've seen guys with back injuries unfortunately have a detrimental career. Well, not detrimental, but their impact or their upside is limited. If that's what's going to happen with this bloke, unfortunately, early on, it's risky. But at this pick, when I'm getting him at 60 and I see him as a top 50 player and is a pure center that I need, I'm going to look to grab that as best I can.
That's a decent justification. I also love that we basically had Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and a bloke called Christian in our group here. It's like it was Bible study night for us, mate. We were into it.
We were indeed. And you need to be into it and into us, and you need to like and subscribe to all the things. And you also need to hit up our sponsors, The Standard Squeeze. I'm repping their apparel on my head tonight. It even keeps me warm and cozy when I'm in camp in the middle of the Australian bush, Malley. So I'm all for these bloody blokes. If you need anything else, you can look for us on X. You can like and subscribe to all of the things. Malley, we'll catch you soon. We've got some more mock fun on the way.
Yeah, let's get mocking.
We'll get to it, guys. Take care. Be well, everyone. See ya.